moment, eller?
This would be a clap.
No?
Yeah.
I want to see you from a different perspective. Can you show me another side? Can I look at you from an alternative angle? Will you stand in a different light?
So I'm Elly Clarke. I'm from the UK. I've been in Berlin on and off since 2008. I'm an artist, and I also perform within the queer scene as well in different ways. My starting medium's always photography, but now I also work with music, performance, and actually also curating. Our band we've been going not even a year yet, and so it's a lot of fun, but actually the three of us bring in the things that we're interested in, the things that are bugging us, and most of our songs are actually about gender and about the scene here, the lesbian scene, the queer scene, the sort of things that you deal with.
Does this need introduction? No, fuck it.
I'm having a crisis about my gender. I don't seem to fit into your agenda. I'm not a boy and I'm not a girl. I'm not a bitch or a fan or a dyke that fucks men. I'm somehow in between and I can't seem to find myself here in the scene. I used to be queer, I'm being queer and here.
I'm really interested in portraiture altogether. Somehow I just love the presence that portraits have. And so this big long portrait project I've been working on is about tracing portraits, so finding portraits all by the same portrait artist, which is a Victorian portrait artist called George Richmond. He is also my great-great-great-grandfather. And this kind of very important right now as well, both old portraits and also the way that we interact, where you could say that your Facebook profile was also a portrait. So I understand everything as being a form of portraiture, of self-presentation. Photography is kind of the key. We actually use words much less. And also because we have photos on our phones all the time, we don't even need to describe anything. We don't need to describe where we live or describe our current lover or describe a place we've been on holiday, because it's all there in pictures. And actually those pictures of our holiday will be shared before we even get home. So it's this kind of bombardment of images that we're constantly engaged in a producing and consuming of images the whole time.
I also have
need to adjust a bit.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we're also still. I'm waiting for Thomas. One of the other aspects, of course, about our communication that is so normal now that we don't even notice it, and it almost seems redundant to talk about it, is the fact that the people who are absent have almost more possibility to get through to you immediately than the people you're with. And so I'm working a lot with that as well, questions about the physical body versus the digital body. And actually you can say that your digital body can look much better. You can edit the photos that portray your digital body. By digital body I mean anything that portrays you online. So it can be your Facebook site, your Facebook page, your website, your Instagram feed, your dating profiles, all that sort of thing. To Liz, I'm going to put her in so it's there. Not only is it digital, but it's instantaneously broadcast to audiences you can't even see, you don't know where they are. And I see it really also as a form of drag. I see it as presentation of self, performance of self, through whichever means it is. We're doing it all the time. It's a performance, it's a role that you play. I don't see it as having to be one particular kind of person doing it in a particular context. I think it's much more flexible than that now. And I also really don't think it should be about the destination, not where you've come from. And I think that a drag queen doesn't need to be male, and if they're not male, it doesn't mean they're a faux queen. And I think it's really getting to the point where it should be open, but there is still quite a lot of prejudice against that, and it feels there are certain people that would want to keep it that it is actually cis men performing in whatever way women, probably more precisely an image of a woman. I think it's interesting in terms of feminism, because I think that the signified used to be woman, and now the signified is a drag queen. So where is the woman in that? So it's like by dressing up, by men traditionally, cis men traditionally dressing up as a woman, they gain certain privileges. She can kind of behave in a way that is can be quite selfish, quite bitchy. It sort of goes with the performance of being a drag queen, which is quite strange, because actually women in society generally do not have that space to do that at all.
But girl, I could judge you on your lack of talent. You're a phony amateur,
to you,
girl.
because you're a mean girl.
Amateur.
You're a mean girl.
Girl, you're a joke.
Girl, if I was going to
judge
judge
you on
anyone,
your
I'd judge you on that body where the shoulders should match them hips, but they
can say all
don't,
that.
so.
Get her, Jade.
Girl, you had rolls all over the place in the back. It was disgusting.
Back rolls.
The general public's beginning to understand it can move in both ways. So you can look at Conchita Wurst and say it's a man with a dress, or you can say it's a lady with a beard. And I think that's really interesting and really important, and I think that's a very good thing for where we've got to. But I still think it's too much of a obsession what people have underneath their clothes, which goes completely contrary to all the debates that particularly trans people are having, and really anybody of any gender that might not want to be perceived as the gender to which they were assigned at birth.
Ooh, darlings, I'm ready for my close-up. I am a multi-bodied, multi-locationable drag queen who sings songs online and offline in a society that is increasingly experienced through screens. In a society that is ever more narcissistic, I am everybody's selfie and no one's. I compete with my own image and I usually lose. Sergina. 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 Selfie. Sergina.
Why want what you wish for? Photos, sweeties, ice cream, sex. Find it on the internet. Texting, chatting, twittering, Skype. 24/7 contact. 24/7 contact. Keep connected, you're never alone. Never alone with a mobile phone in your pocket. Get it when you want it. Get it when you want it. Instantaneous culture. My wonderful wish. My wonderful wish. Instantaneous culture. Instantaneous culture. I wish for what you want. I wish for what you want.
I got my phone in my wallet, got my phone in my wallet, got my phone in my wallet, got my phone. I've got my phone in my wallet, got my phone in my wallet, got my phone in my wallet, got my phone. I've got my phone in my wallet, got my phone in my wallet, got my phone in my wallet, got my phone. I've got my phone in my wallet, got my phone. Got my phone. Got my phone. I've got my phone in my wallet, got my phone. I've got my phone in my wallet, got my phone. I've got my phone. I've got my phone. I've got my phone in my wallet, got my phone.
The funny thing is that when I, as Elly, put on an outfit that means I go out as Sergina, and I go into a club, I borrow or I take or I'm granted privilege, male privilege for that night. And the irony of the fact that by becoming more femme, I gain male privilege. And at the end of the night, and it is really interesting, I enjoy it, and I have at the same time in between, in kind of pauses when I can sort of feel a bit of Elly inside, I feel anger, sometimes as well. And at the end of the night, I go back to being me, back to not being served so quickly at the bar, or not being given free drinks anymore, people not moving out of the way when I walk through the bar. So it's really interesting, and it's kind of ironic that by putting on fake tits, if I do that, I often don't bother, but if I do, or by putting on lipstick that I don't normally wear, I gain male privilege for that time. The more that drag becomes mainstream, the more room it actually gives me as being someone who is perhaps not what people assume from the first moment, a bit of space to play with, because there is this space opened up to be able to kind of explore different things and challenge people's expectations.